Stop the roll.
Something blew up. And then when I found out and when they found out what had actually happened, it got a little bit more emotional. It got to the point where, we were alive.
Here's what we know and how this is affecting travelers. RDU officials say the Air Traffic Control Center is handling a limited amount of arrivals and departures on the west side of the airport. The accident happened at the east side of the airport at Terminal A. Now, previously, this was, again, affecting flights, cancellations, delays.
This is scary. Do you think I would have stayed down here during a hurricane?
Guys, this is the first time we are getting a view like this. Take a look at that house across the street. See that burgundy Acura? That was actually inside a garage. That garage gone. The bonus from above it also gone. Now back here at this house, yes, I'm actually standing in a house on the second floor. Take a look at the second floor. Everything gone. The roof, walls, the entire second floor destroyed. The people who lived here, they were actually inside as this tornado whipped through.
If a Marine or a civilian was injured and contaminated with a chemical or biological agent, what would you do? That's what these Marines are learning, how to decontaminate others, themselves, weapons. It's part of their nuclear, biological, and chemical training, or NBC.
It used to be before nothing happened that stood for nobody cares. Now everybody cares because it's being used.
Breathe in. Head up.
The thought of going into a gas chamber isn't pleasant.
Put it on chin first.
But I wanted to see how our troops are training for this war against terrorism.
Ready, exercise!
We did jumping jacks, push-ups, tested our weapons for chemicals, and tasted it ourselves.
Now close it. Get it out. Flush it out.
Next, it was on to the obstacle course where we hurdled, sloshed, and crawled.
Go! Get up!
When I came up, I definitely needed air.
Well, that was an experience.
This is what rescue crews were waiting for. Just after 9 o'clock this morning, searchers found 7-year-old Megan Shoemate and her half-brother, 4-year-old Zach Kulkuski. Megan was wrapped in a deputy's jacket, and emergency workers removed her cold, wet shoes and socks to try to get her blood circulating again.
I knew we were going to find him. I just knew it.
Deputy Chase Stott was one of the men who found the kids. His search team spotted the children and their dog next to this pond. This was after one of the members climbed a deer stand and heard voices.
I just knew they were there. We got quiet, we stood still, heard them, and started running, calling the names again, and stopped. I knew they were there. Came through a clearing and there they stood.
I was happy to see them awake, They're blessed. God blessed them.
A command post had been set up since 7 o'clock last night. The kids had last been seen by their grandmother playing in their backyard. Despite getting lost on one of the coldest nights of the year, doctors expect a quick recovery for Megan and Zach.
The kids are in stable condition, and it is looking like upon the primary care physician's approval that they will be able to go home today.
Law enforcement is a good way to make a living. Sometimes it's hard on you, but sometimes it's good on you. And today's one of those days. It's a good day to be a police officer.
A happy side note to this story, 4-year-old Zach turns 5 on Sunday, and this is perhaps the best birthday present he's received in his young life. Reporting from Lewisburg, Keith Garvin, ABC 11, Eyewitness News.
Him and couple survived Hazel. Yeah, that was something to remember.
50 years later, Jerry Helms remembers Hurricane Hazel as if it wasn't all that long ago.
And no kind of warnings hardly at all. And here we were a young couple, we ain't listening to nothing, and just on our honeymoon, and who wants to watch TV? And
Helms takes us back to his honeymoon spot and recounts the day that Long Beach was swallowed by the ocean.
The old house was just like this. All of a sudden, everything started, and things started flying around, the houses were flying around, floating. We didn't really know what to do, so the water was getting higher and higher. Well, I got this mattress and stuck it up in that window over there, and she jumped on the mattress, and I jumped in the water beside her and held on. And, boy, we were gone.
They floated on that mattress and got stuck in a treetop.
We stayed there till it was over.
Helms estimates it all lasted about 7.5 hours.
We were two lucky people.
By now, you've seen soldiers in formation, more times than you can probably count. But what you haven't seen is this: soldiers being carried away because of heat exhaustion. This isn't a drill. While covering the mobilization of soldiers assigned to the 805th to areas in Afghanistan, 7 soldiers were taken down by an enemy on U.S. soil, the North Carolina Sun.
We're not used to some of the heat here.
They're so not used to the heat that the ceremony was immediately moved inside, leaving only empty chairs to suffer a heat index of close to 100 degrees. Water coolers were immediately rushed inside also, and bottles of water were handed out.
I think some of the people did not indulge in some water last night, so they needed to do that, and that's one thing we're going to have to overcome and try to adapt to.
Right now at 5:30, an I-team investigation that is both crazy and scary at the same time.
Not usually the way we describe these stories, but trust us, this one will have you shaking your head. Lead I-team reporter Steve Daniels is here to explain. Steve?
It's really a shocking situation, Francis and Tisha. People apparently taking advantage of the mortgage crisis to try and take over homes, and they are doing it without actually buying the homes, kind of like modern-day squatters. I-team troubleshooter Diane Wilson is live in Wakefield tonight with her exclusive investigation. Diane?
Steve, take a look at the house behind me. Beautiful, right? You know, it should be with a tax value of more than $1 million. But imagine the owner surprised to find out that someone else had the deed transferred to their name, then tried to move into it without ever even buying it. From McMansions to mega mansions, beautiful estate homes in North Raleigh, Wake Forest, and Apex. All empty and on the market, and all targets of what some are calling the latest real estate scam.
This is absolutely ridiculous, and I have never really seen or heard anything like this.
Wajo is fired up, and he has every right to be. His home is caught up in this mess. A custom-built home in a gated community valued at $3.3 million. 11,000 square feet with an elevator. Who wouldn't want to live here? Well, Mr. Joe's realtor, Mike Moriarty, says he's shown the short sale home many times. But after a recent showing, something strange happened. The people who just looked at the home suddenly say they now own it.
They're claiming to have already gained ownership to the home without going through the process of what most people would do is actually buying it. These people have actually gone down to the Register of Deeds office and filed a general warranty deed on this home in a certain trust, and then taken that ownership and granted it to themselves as individuals.
You heard right. Moriarty knew it was suspicious, so he did some digging and found out the 3 people had the deed transferred to them. And then they filed a $1.2 million lien on the home.
These people have done no service. We're not giving it away for these jokers to come in and trying to wrestle this away from us.
And Mr. Joe's not alone in this. A group of individuals set up 3 different trusts and got a hold of the deeds to 6 other Wake County homes. Nice homes, bank-owned foreclosures.
Well, these are homes that have tax values of pretty much over $1 million, except for one.
Joe still owns his home, so he had to deal with it himself. But he says when he took his case to authorities, he got no help.
We are very, very frustrated because even though when we speak with these people, presumably people in authority, they can really do things, they're telling us, hey, look, you cannot let these things go on like this. These people have to be prosecuted or, taken off the street or whatnot. Yet they're pointing finger at each other saying, Attorney General's office is saying, well, we'll talk to DA's office. Now I'm going to DA's office and they're saying, hey, it's AG matter. I mean, I am completely outraged over this and the fact that authorities are not willing to step in.
So he and his realtor took matters into their own hands with Wake County.
In conversations with the Register of Deeds office, they say they're not a policing authority. They know that, that these people likely don't have a legal right to these homes, yet they have to file these deeds anyway.
That's right. These people formed private trusts, made themselves the trustees, filled out a deed, got it notarized, and the register recorded the deed.
They're able to, and as well as anybody's able to go down there and record a deed on any property that they want.
Besides getting the deeds, they also filed $1.2 million liens on all 6 homes. Fed up with the red tape and runaround, Moriarty contacted me, and we started doing some digging into the 3 trusts: Once International Land Trust, Natural International, and New Vision International. All traced back to a P.O. box at this Raleigh UPS store and several homes across the county. I left word that I needed to talk to these guys and eventually got a meeting with Sean Pendergraft. He's tied to at least 2 of the trusts, and he didn't apologize for what he's doing.
It's not a scam. Everything we're doing is lawful.
He says the trusts are private and focused on acquiring properties, but he wouldn't say what entitles them to these deeds.
The Express Trust is a private organization, and I'm unable to disclose any more information about the trust because I'm just a trustee within the trust.
Instead, he told me to research common law. This basically says if your name appears on a valid deed, you are the exclusive owner. But the question is, are these deeds valid? Pendergraft insists he and the other trustees aren't scammers, just opportunists.
People are millionaires all day long for working the system. You know, all of them have found a lawful way of working in the system. Right. And that's what the trust is.
And when we asked him if he knew anything about the people who actually squatted in one of the $1 million homes until the banks booted them out and rekeyed the locks, he just smiled. And remember, 6 of the 7 properties are foreclosed homes, meaning they're bank owned. So if the banks have the titles, but Sean's trusts have the deeds, what do they plan on doing with these properties?
Unable to disclose that information.
And Mr. Joe's home, the only one that isn't bank owned?
There was a problem with that, and we are rectifying that. We're in the process of rectifying that situation.
Pendergraft says they're going to withdraw their interest in that property. But the other 6, worth around $5.6 million?
As of right now, we just sitting back and relaxing.
And for those of you who think this is all outrageous, Pendergraft says relax. You can take advantage of this opportunity, too.
It's there for everybody, not just us.
As for Mr. Joe, he's relieved to hear Pendergraft say they're withdrawing interest in his home. But he's baffled they're able to do it in the first place.
This is really outrageous. And the fact that if this is legal, what am I doing wrong? I mean, why am I working so hard?
Something many of us are wondering, including myself. But you know, our legal expert says not so fast. He says the deeds they have are basically hogwash and do not entitle them to any of these properties. He adds what these people are doing is potentially illegal, and what they may be doing is just trying to scare people into believing that they do have ownership of the property when in fact it will not show up on the title search at all. He adds that worst case scenario, what they could be doing is try to be living in these homes for free, which we saw at this house, or even worse, rent them out to unsuspecting renters. Steve?
Diane, Mr. Joe said he has been in touch with the authorities. What did the authorities tell you when you got in touch with them?
You know, we contacted the Attorney General's office and they say they are in fact investigating based on Mr. Joe's complaint. He also contacted Wake County Sheriff's and told them about how these guys were trying to move into his home that he still owns. And he said the sheriff told him if they do try and move in, he will arrest them for trespassing. So really right now, time will tell what authorities will do, if anything, or what these guys are going to plan on doing with these properties.
Yeah, the ball is in the court of the authorities now that you've exposed this. Thanks, Diane Wilson, live in Wakefield tonight.
18-year-old Leah Vett has been dancing since she was 3.
It just used to be a hobby of mine, and you know, throughout high school, I found myself really looking forward to dance class like a lot more than, of course, school. And dance class would be the place I would go to after the end of the day, or I could just, you know, express myself in, you know, in so many ways.
The last 2 years, Leah says dance became her passion. She practiced 3 hours a day and performed extensively with the company at Carolina Dance Center in Raleigh, winning awards and turning heads wherever she went.
She's just very mesmerizing to look at, and I get feedback from a lot of people how good she is, and it just confirms that, yeah, she is good.
Oh, look at this.
But Leah and her parents didn't realize just how good she was until the phone call came from Juilliard.
She started off the phone call with, "Hi, Leia, I'd just like to congratulate you on your acceptance to the class." And I didn't even remember, I didn't even let her finish her sentence. I was like, "Oh my goodness, thank you so much, thank you, thank you." I couldn't stop thanking her. It probably sounded like such a fool, but I was very excited.
You see, Juilliard was just a dream school for Leia. With only 12 women accepted each year, it seemed out of reach. And while she wanted to go to a college with a dance program, her main focus was academics. Graduating from Enloe with a 5.1 grade point average, Leia was thinking hard about a medical career. Now, that's on hold. She turned down top-notch schools like Duke and NYU to pursue her dream.
This was supposed to be a hobby, a kind of activity after school, and now it has taken a shape of its own, and getting away from the main life, which is going to regular college and getting a regular degree, and this is going to be very, very different. It is. Yeah, but it's exciting.
Leia's teachers at Carolina Dance say while her forte is ballet, she can do it all.
She's so gifted at each type of dance, that's one of the things that sets her apart. Her doors are so open in the future because she could be on Broadway, or she could be in a company, or she can almost do anything.
Leia's not sure where she'll end up. For now, she's focused on learning all she can so she can dance professionally one day and share her passion with others.
It's art, you can relate to it in your own way. When you watch it, it touches you in a way that you probably didn't know was possible. It's just very profound and expressive, and I love getting to be in that world.
Behind the masks of these surgeons is what's behind this music.
We were first put together as a novelty to play at one of our society meetings, and the idea was to sort of lighten up our big conferences.
Not how most bands are formed, but these aren't your typical musicians. There's 6 gynecologic oncologists from around the country, including Drs. John Soper and John Bogus from UNC Women's Hospital.
We all thought about it and thought, okay, well, this could be fun. None of us really knew each other that well. So we, over the internet, put together a song list. Everybody practiced on their own, and we put together 20 cover tunes.
Those tunes struck a chord and landed the band a record deal.
While the work that we do where we are is very important, that this could actually affect so many people, and it can be very powerful.
Through powerful music and their unique band, the doctors are hoping to raise awareness and funds to fight gynecological cancer. Even their band name, No Evidence of Disease, or NED, has meaning.
NED seemed perfect because that's actually the abbreviation we write on our charts when our patients are doing well. So no evidence of disease just means that somebody's been through treatment and there's no signs or anything of cancer.
That's a big deal to the docs, since gynecological cancer affects about 80,000 women in the U.S. every year.
GYN cancer, which is specifically cancers of the reproductive tract, like ovarian cancer, uterine cancer, cervical cancer, they really are not talked about. People don't understand them.
So these MDs are trying to change that with a little music.
The theme of every single song is absolutely hope and positivity. The first song on the CD, She Sings to Me, is a very personal song to me. And it's a song about my sister, who I lost when she was 39 years old.
I still believe I can hear her sing.
Right now, these doctors are preparing to promote their music and awareness.
But there's no voice, or very little voice, for GYN cancers.
Until now, which is why these doctors are our Persons of the Week.
We have an exclusive iTeam consumer alert that could be costly for you and your kids. We discovered an important and expensive product on store shelves long after its use-by date.
We're talking about baby formula, critical to many babies' development. iTeam troubleshooter Diane Wilson has the results of her undercover investigation.
Tisha and Steve, many moms don't breastfeed for one reason or another. So formula is key to their newborn's healthy growth. And most parents know it's not cheap, usually 20 to 30 bucks a can. It's such an important supplement that it's one of the few foods the FDA requires to have a use-by date on it. But we found it's easy to find outdated formula on local store shelves. Toys R Us, Bye Bye Baby, Target, some of the most popular places to buy baby stuff, including formula. But buyers beware. What we found isn't supposed to be happening, especially with infants' health at stake.
Here's another one.
Our first stop, this Raleigh Harris Teeter.
The use by date reads October 5th, 2012. And today is Friday, January 18th, 2013.
And that's not all we found.
Here's 1, 2, November 3rd, 2012 is the use by date. And this whole box, used by November 3rd, 2012. That's 8 total.
So we told the manager.
This was October 5th, along with this one, and these are all November 3rd, 2012.
The manager thanked us and assured us he'd fix the problem, and he did, which we confirmed on a follow-up checkup a few days later. Next stop, this Durham Walmart.
Used by November 1st, 2012, and it's November 15th. And another one. That makes 7.
Right next door at this Bye Bye Baby, we found 1 can, out of date by a month. And at this Durham Target, 1 6 months past date.
Date on here says May 1st, 2012, and it's November 15th, 2012.
Our last stop, this Toys R Us, Babies R Us in Cary.
It is Friday, January 11th. This formula's used by date is October 1st, 2012. So is this one. This one's the same.
We found 5 boxes right away, and then we found more.
That's 7.
We decided to buy some of the formula to see if a clerk would notice it was out of date. But they checked us right out. So we waited a few days and returned it.
I just wanted to share this piece so that you would be aware. Okay.
We got our money back, but that's not all we really wanted.
Well, can you make someone aware? I'm aware. We're good. Okay.
But is the formula good?
The manufacturer can't guarantee that it's got all the protein, fats, carbohydrates, vitamin, mineral content. They can't guarantee that. And in an infant who's growing very quickly, that might be a problem.
Licensed dietitian Patricia Becker says that while it's very unlikely that feeding a baby formula past its use-by date would cause any immediate health problems, the biggest concern with out-of-date formula is that babies may not be getting necessary nutrients just when they need them the most.
It is extremely crucial because you really get a window, and especially with brain development, by age of 2 you're done. The window's closed.
Becker says she advises parents to check those use-by dates and chuck any formula that's outdated or discounted.
People should dispose of it. Because it's kind of a fragile population, and that's why it's mandated.
Good tip. And what about our tip to Toys R Us that they had outdated formula on their shelves? We went back days later, and here's what we found.
They didn't come back and check any of these infant growth formulas with the use-by date of October 1st, 2012.
That's why you have to look closely like state inspectors do. And if they do find outdated formula, they make the stores throw it away on the spot. If it happens repeatedly, it could lead to fines. The FDA says it's one of the few foods that should never be sold or used after its use-by date. And in California, they just made it illegal to sell outdated formula. Now, as for the stores we checked on, they all thanked us for bringing this to their attention, said they'd fix it, and a couple even said they'd be retraining employees in a wake of our investigation. Steve and Tisha?
Keeping you connected with today's breaking news. ABC 11 Eyewitness News at 5:30 starts right now.
First at 5:30 tonight, an I-Team exclusive, an undercover investigation into the pricing practices at several local outlets of a major retailer.
I-Team troubleshooter Diane Wilson here now to show us if those sales save us as much money as we think they do.
You know, that holiday shopping season, it's right around the corner, and retailers, they're all competing for your business. Big sales will be one way to get your attention, but are the prices at one major retailer as good as they seem? Big sales, deep discounts. Seems like it's always easy to find something on sale at Kohl's.
They have all kinds of specials. That's say $47.52.
But are you really saving as much as you think? We went shopping undercover to several Triangle area Kohl's stores, checking price tags. And it's the price tags that surprised us. We found more than one sticker price on many items. Price tag on top of price tag, with a price going up instead of down, even though the items were on sale. The markups we found, as little as $2, but as high as $50. Take a look. In bedding, this comforter set on sale for 50% off the sticker price of $139.99. But underneath that sticker, when peeled back, the price tag is lower at $119.99, a $20 increase in price. This clock's listed 55% off at $99.99, but underneath that sticker, a price tag $10 cheaper at $89.99. Another price increase with this photo album that's 55% off. The price tag on top, $29.99. Peel that back and we find $21.99, an $8 difference. On these athletic pants, the top price says $30. Peel that back and it's $2 cheaper at $28. We also found price hikes on items not on sale, like this KitchenAid mixer. The sticker price says $549.99, but peel back that sticker and you see a price $50 cheaper. And then, right in the middle of our months-long investigation, Kohl's started changing the majority of their price tags to electronic pricing. Still, we found discrepancies, like this coffee maker. The paper price tag says $129.99, but the new electronic price tag right below it says it costs $10 more at $139.99. So what would happen if we asked for the lower price during checkout? We tried it with this bedding set. Remember, the top sticker said $139.99, but the sticker beneath that, $20 cheaper at $119.99.
We noticed underneath this sticker here, it's got a different price.
Right, that's why they put that one over top of that, because it was probably a price change.
But it's lower. This one's $119.
That's lower than this one?
Yeah, that's $139.
Right, it was probably a markup, so they put it over the old EPC.
When we asked why the markup, the manager said,
like cotton goes up, and so all our new product, the same one, like we might have had this one, it's the last one left. We get shipped new ones. The vendor actually, says the new retail is $139 because cotton prices went up 70% in the last, 6 months. So it's more expensive for us to make. And it's just like anything else that goes up in price, like car 1 year to the next year.
So will I be able to get the 50% off the old price?
They did take care of us. We got 50% off the lowest sticker, which we only knew about since we peeled back the top sticker. But once we got the bedding outside and took a closer look, we realized a problem. Remember, the manager told us the bedding was marked up because the price of cotton went up. This bedding is not cotton. It's 100% polyester.
33% off.
At the Briar Creek Kohl's, when we asked about whether we could get the sale price on this pot and pan set off the bottom sticker of $119.99, as opposed to the top sticker, which is $30 more at $149.99.
The 30% is taken off of the original price, which was $149, so that brought it down to $99.
Oh, but if
I think what she's saying
is the original price, then why would a price tag below it be? Because obviously 119 was put on first because it's below it.
Yeah, because that was probably an early bird price or something, a different kind of a discount program. So sometimes we have these programs where on a Friday evening or a Saturday morning, they have what they call early bird specials, which are extra discounts.
But once we asked more questions, the manager stepped in and told us a price increase was actually because of the manufacturer.
The retail, the actual vendor who shipped them to us changed the price before they shipped it to us. So I guess they did a markup on it.
So we reached out to Kohl's corporate headquarters in Wisconsin and were told the following. When determining pricing, including any necessary price changes, the buyers consider a number of factors, including the regular prices of Kohl's competitors for similar merchandise, as well as Kohl's cost for the goods being sold. Changes to Kohl's off-sale prices are infrequently made. While the percentage discount offered may vary from sale event to sale event, Kohl's does not raise regular or original prices on a short-term basis, just for purposes purpose of offering deeper discounts during a future sales event. As is common in the retail industry, from time to time, product prices are increased due to production and raw material cost increases. When these types of price increases are implemented, our stores are instructed to reticket all items currently in our inventory to match the prices on the tags for all incoming merchandise. So, when you're shopping this holiday season, you'll no doubt see a lot of sales. But look closely to see if the price you're paying is really the lowest. So Kohl also adds they constantly evaluate their competitors' pricing for similar products and are confident that Kohl's pricing remains competitive in the department store marketplace. And they encourage any customers that are unhappy with their purchases for any reason to take advantage of their hassle-free return policies. So as you're shopping this holiday season, be on the lookout for that. We got the lower price at one time.
Well, you can do your homework too, and even if you buy it, you can go home and see if you can find it somewhere else for a cheaper price and take it back, huh?
Oh, I'm the queen of returning for cheaper prices. My husband says over $5.
Yeah.
I do it.
Got to fight for every dollar.
Exactly.
Is unreasonable.
Sydney says Christina just wants the money and not to get her car fixed. Christina disputes that.
Your coats did damage to my car. All I'm asking is to get fixed. I'm not asking you for your money.
And things did get heated.
I don't want that. I want the money. It's not that I want the money, Cindy.
You do.
I'm just telling you like it is.
But once the two ladies calmed down, the focus was back on the damage.
And I do want to take care of the damage.
And how about the goats running free?
You have the problem with the goats. It is a problem.
It
My
is.
little baby should not have gone on the car, and they shouldn't have come around.
Cindy not only agreed to keep her goats contained when Christina's home, but they both agreed on a shop to do the work. Cindy says she will cover the damages her goats caused to Christina's car.
So the good news, there seems to be peace back in the neighborhood. Back to you guys.
The Warriors on the Water event is something that I participate in every year that I can.
It's new to me. I just found out about it probably about a week ago.
This is just a phenomenal event. It's a great way for us in the local area as fishermen to give back to these guys.
Good luck. Well, I'm a combat controller. We get attached to teams that live in remote places. And
you know, we wouldn't be able to do what we do if it wasn't for these guys. You know, I'm active duty, but I also professionally fish, so to be able to take these guys out and let them experience, you know, what I do when I'm not working, it's just a great way to show them what we do.
it's been a helicopter crash.
And that was in Iraq, right?
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan.
I still got some back issues. I have a herniated disc in my L5-S1 that's kind of the vertebrae are on top of each other. But my shoulder and my hips have healed up pretty good. So we hit a tree, did a barrel roll, and landed on the side of a compound. Aircraft basically cut in half and caught on fire. We had some pretty severe head injuries. I just say thank you to them. It shows that they really care, and they've gone way above and beyond to help some service members get out here and experience some new things.
Stop the roll. Look on top of the canopy. Look at the smoke trail. See how it pigtailed on us?